Yokoso from Japan. Once again, I am here. I thought I'd just show you a few pictures and stuff from my trips recently. Not just America, but what I did the weekend before. So, let's roll it. And that's my trip to America. All right, see y'all later. Wait a minute. Maybe you'd like that a little slower. Okay, we'll show it to you slower and with narration. So first I took some Spaniards to the orange fields, as I mentioned a while ago on the blog, and I learned a little bit about oranges and forgot most of it, and yeah. Okay, that's the guy from SMAP, and he totally looks like a girl, and I think it's time for that to be noticed. And that's coming from a guy that wears mascara sometimes to look cool. Alright, this is just scenes from around Nakayama Kampu and Teradake, my local big mountain. And I was looking around at these structures they have up in the mountains, and I was thinking, who would build way up there? But anyways, it was a beautiful place, so these are just some pictures of that. This is the trail up there, and there's a guy very tiny in that picture. I was kind of surprised to see somebody up there. And that's where the Tara River starts. And I've seen this stick before in Laramie, Wyoming, I could swear. There's some Sanskrit, I think? Yeah, so that was cool. I got a bunch of lovely Buddhas in a row, deedly deedy. That's the shrine on top of Mount Tara, or Teradake. And this is a scene from the airport that made me feel all great. It was preceded by this guy in the blue suit. Yeah, nothing makes you feel better about flying than seeing a guy in a hazmat suit. You're like, that looks safe. He's gonna be protected in case there's a chemical bomb, but not me. And these are the remains of Kinsenji Temple. Or just Kinsen Temple, I think you could say. Anyways, it's like saying the law. These are the steps. Sorry, I got off on a linguistic rant, almost. And there's statues around. But I found this interesting. It's a hand crank toilet. There's like a little thing that's kind of reminds me of cranking clay in the ceramics class. But also, I thought it was very funny. There was a sign here that says, "Do not get up on the toilet backwards and squat in it." Only in Japan. It's the Christian Express. I have no idea what this advertisement was for. Alright, I asked my girlfriend to make a nice face. This is the day that I was leaving, and well, that's what she made. I was just ugly by default. This is what I got for about 24 hours on the plane. Very tight seats. This is a little boy that sat next to me, and he asked me questions the whole time. Luckily, I'm kind of disposed towards that sort of thing, so I found it cute. His father, however, was very bemused by his son's inability to shut up, even though the father was logically explaining why this stranger next to him wanted to sleep. But, yeah, like I said, cute kid. So I didn't mind. And you can tell it's the Denver, Cheyenne type area because it looks dreary. This was my first food back in America because I thought, what the hell, Taco Bell. And that's Denver traffic. I thought it was, kind of nostalgic. There's Ben. He's kind of nostalgic, but he looked different because his hair's all different. This is breakfast at some Louisiana type place, but not in Louisiana, of course. We were in Denver. But yeah, so much sugar, and I had given up sugar around New Year's, so I got sick quite soon after. That's Kit. That's Tessa. Boy, I should have gotten a better picture of her. There's Mark and Brittany. Yeah, I could have gotten better pictures of them too. And that's my ponytail that Brittany gave me. Isn't that nice? I'm working on it. One thing I like about Denver is that the buildings look different, which you just don't get in Japan. Variety in buildings. Alright, this is Ben taking pictures with his camera, which is a scanner and an old accordion camera put together. The results are pretty cool. Let's see some of them. Here we have the group. We're all looking very suave, especially Mark there. This is from the wedding. Rachel and her husband standing next to a couple of ghosts. And this is the group again. I'm the one holding the puppy, of course. All right, this is just Ducks at the Pond by Ben's house. That's the group again. You can almost hear the music from the Quentin Tarantino movie. Mark is very hairy, and I thought I would photograph it and embarrass him on the internet. But he cleans up well. So do we all, as you can see right there. All right, that's Owen. Haven't seen him in a while, and he's like, hey, what are you doing with that? This is the spot where Rachel and Naveed got married, and there was no preacher because they're Baha'i. They do it kind of different, and it was interesting. It was like, oh, they're married. But apparently nobody thought to change the name tag outside in the gates. And that's the beautiful Colorado/Wyoming sky, which I have missed. That's a cake cutting. Rachel and him did not smear cake on each other's faces, which just was odd, to be quite frank. Who doesn't smear cake? But that's their first dance and their first swing dance. That's my nephew. He was amazingly shy around me, probably because I have a weird face that he finds oddly familiar. The image of our great leader, Dick Cheney, can only mean I was at the Texas Roadhouse. There's my nephew again. He's surprisingly cute, isn't he? I mean, for somebody related to me. Ugh. It's like Frankenstein meets the Easter Bunny or something. I don't know. And this is from camping. That's Stephanie. That's Will. John and Dave, some of my oldest friends that are still around. We went camping where we had always gone camping as kids, as scouts, and we started a big bonfire. It got big. That's the panorama I took at the campground the next morning when it was covered with snow. But it's mighty tiny on the YouTube, isn't it? Alright, that's a picture of me in the headband that I gave my brother, but I forgot to give it to him when he was actually there, so Nick, pick that up. There's my brother, and he doesn't look amused. Can't you cheer up? There we go. Much better. Too bad about the red eye. Haha. That's my brother's girlfriend. He lucked out big time. Okay, so I had to go back to America eventually, and that was my last treat in America before I got off the sugar again. And I made friends with this guy on the plane. It turns out his grandma lives in my town. And he's some smart kid that goes to the University of Kyushu, which is really up there, I guess. And he's actually more like an American than a Japanese person. It was kind of interesting. But there you have it. That's all the pictures I'm going to subject you to. Going to try to summarize very quickly what I learned while I was in America. First off, old friends don't change, and that's a good thing because we all got along really well. It was just like old times. Some of us have gained a little weight. I'm at an all-time high of 186 pounds. Really, I'm fat. And yeah, and nephews grew up really fast, and yeah, it was good to go back to America, but I probably won't do it for a long time again because, well, the flight is forever. You understand. Okay, that's more than enough. See you all later.
They both get washed. And I prefer the lipstick, not on the way, pressing them down, lopsidedly. It's right as they tumble through the street. Didn't we say whatever may come our way?